I spent $200 on getting this all the way from Europe to tell you whether or not it's worth the money. Let's talk about it. What's going on, guys? My name is Neeb. Welcome back to AROMATIX. Today we're going to be talking about the latest release of YSL MYSLF, a fragrance that's getting a lot of traction and hype because of its successors and its ease to wear. This is not a fragrance that you will run home about and just be like, oh my God, it's the most unique thing. But it is a fragrance you can wear every day. It has mass appeal, huge compliment factors, and women love this fragrance. And that in itself is one of the biggest reasons why I ended up loving this fragrance. The Eau de Parfum is, in my opinion, the best one. The Lip Parfum has a richer scent profile with a bit of peppers. A lot of people didn't really dig it. So YSL responded with a smaller bottle, more expensive, and a similar scent profile to something that worked, like the original, and something denser. Before we start to dive into the actual differences, I want to take a look at some of the notes, which I have to... My phone is dead. Okay.
A few minutes later.
And we're back. So a lot of similar notes like the original fragrance, except maybe the inclusion of patchouli. I'm live right now on my phone, so I couldn't really pull up all the notes, but we'll pop it up right here on the split screen. The main difference between this one and the original one, which I personally smell, and I think it might be in the notes as well, is going to be the doubling down of the florals. There's still that similar cardamom, and then as it starts to dry down, it gives you that overall similar fabric softener vibe, okay? That's what I initially got with this inclusion or realm of scent. That I personally got introduced to like maybe 2 years ago. I think it was like Reflection Man was kind of that fabric softener vibe. And since then, I've seen it as a class of its own, fabric softener scents, which is great. You smell clean, women love that shit, right? People love that stuff anyway. So this scent and its differences. First off, the presentation, you obviously get something that's much, much smaller, but why are we paying more? It's crazy. So the concentration difference is a parfum to an eau de parfum, but you guys like, oh, wait a minute. I just bought the smaller one. But it's still more expensive price per ml. And if I'm wrong, then I just sound like a jackass. But this is a trend that they're all following. Let's give them something that has a bit, well, it is still more concentration. Anyways, getting into the scent profile. You still retain the freshness, that orange flower, basically from the scent profile. That's giving you this citrus, not undertone, but a citrus opening with that thick and soft, almost pillow-like style of white florals. This one has a much thicker inclusion of the orange flower and those florals. The citrus is also, in the opening of this one, it's not nearly as bright and fresh while still having a freshness overall. With the original MYSLF, it's very airy as well. This one, it's not. It's very thick, and it's kind of like the difference between a white sheet and a white filled pillow. So the white sheet, obviously, you put it to your nose, you're not gonna suffocate as much as you would with the white pillow, but it still retains its freshness. So a thicker scent profile that really capitalizes on its success points, which is going to be the fabric softener. So this is a full dive deep headfirst into the mid of this fragrance, toning down some of the freshness and also increasing some of the density. You end up with something like this. But, and there is pretty significant but, not on the bottle, but in the scent profile. This fragrance performance, I'll say mostly projection-wise, is ass. This fragrance, the fact that I paid so much for it and it's much more expensive, projection, I forget, I wore it in about an hour and a half to 2 hours. Longevity, it's going to stay there the entire day, maybe even to the next day on clothing, but I can't smell it. Now, it could be because of one or two reasons. Number one, it's just like that, and diffusivity wasn't studied that much. Believe it or not, they have a lot of departments where they'll have cages and they'll go in and they'll, walk around, turn around, see if they smell themselves. I'm not joking. Like, and I'll film this and I'll show you guys. Or they'll spray it a couple times and kind of have some other party at a distance and see if and when they can smell it. Maybe, didn't really hit the mark with this one. And then also considering the fact, or part two, would be the density of the oils. Like I've mentioned quite a few times, that really does make a difference. So with denser and heavier oils, because they all have weight, right? Mass, etc., it could really contribute to a lesser projecting fragrance. How do they counteract it? Generally speaking, they'll add ambroxan and other chemicals to help it lift and diffuse even more, giving you more projection. Moral of the story is this shit doesn't project. It smells so good. It smells better than the original, but the projection is like, oh my God, what am I even wearing? In order for somebody to smell you, they have to literally be within 2 feet max. And it's such a shame because the fragrance is so good. So, difference between this and this. This is fresher, it projects, it performs, it's great. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. This is for those of you who love the white floral aspect of this. A lot more florals, a richer, thicker scent profile that lasts a hell of a long time, but unfortunately just doesn't project. Now, if this one didn't last, I'd say, you know what, it's still worth it, but it already does last and it already does project. I have to admit, this is a better scent profile, but the performance, I mean, if it's not projecting, it's just not worth it, in my opinion. If maybe this is just my first experience, now I will say I've been wearing it for the last 6 days. If it gets any better, I'll, re-up you guys. It's a shame because the scent for me is like 9.9, damn near a 10. I want to say this is a 10 for me, but the projection, this is a 10. But the projection is just not it. And I love this genre of fragrances, right? It's clean, it's fresh, it's mass appealing. There's not a soul who can dislike this. And in fact, it's a scent profile that I've been working on a creation for one of my fragrances for the longest time. And I love discovering and studying these scent profiles so that I can create a version that's the absolute best in all realms, in thickness, in projection, in performance, in longevity. It doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be an extrait, and also in value. It just means that you have to have the proper, concoction of fixatives, of naturals in order to find that like perfect zone of scent trail, of sillage, and projection. And it's this fragrance right here. This one. So it's the one that's going to be in the blue bottle. It's in this realm of fragrance scent profile, and it's so damn strong. Now, I don't want to bring this in to be like, oh, forget about it. These are still great in their own right. I love this scent, but it's just not it for the value. Value is just not there. It's a shame because I love this scent. But that's pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. The honest to God truth about YSL MYSLF L'Absolu. If you ask me whether or not it's worth it, I would buy it again. I genuinely would. But I love fragrance. I love the scent profile. But if I'm looking for an all-day performer in terms of like people to smell me, this wouldn't necessarily be it. It's a shame. It's a shame. It's bittersweet. That's pretty much it. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think and whether or not you've gotten your nose on this one. If you're into this, I would probably say you should still check this one out at the very least. My name is Neve. Thank you for tuning back in AROMATIX, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.